Preschool small groups. I used to think that small group time was my weakness. Here's how I changed my mindset. My center time is about an hour long, and I used to think that I had to sit down an entire hour to do small groups. But I don't teach high school, I teach preschool. And so I am very needed throughout the classroom. I was always up helping somebody in a certain center. You have so many things to do. Your hands are so full as a preschool teacher. And so truly doing an hour of small groups while all of the other students are at free choice centers is just not feasible. Now I feel really great about my small groups. I make sure that I get through at least one small group a week. That means all students are going to come to me once a week. My students come to school 4 half days, 3 hours at a time. So we have an hour of center time each day. I generally now probably sit down for small groups 20 minutes out of that hour. That may not seem a lot, but I am busy, always doing something. And now I actually gave myself freedom to say that's okay, because these children are not completely independent yet. They still rely on you. The aide in my classroom is always doing an art project. She gets through one art project a week, and I get through one small group a week. Our centers are free choice. I have, I think, 18 available centers. They use name tags that they stick on, and then when it's their turn for their small group, which again is only going to be 1 or maybe 2 out of those 4 days a week, that they'll come to me for 10 minutes at a time. My small groups are usually no more than 10 minutes. So I will call the students over that I need, and it's always different. It might be just going down my list if everybody's doing a similar activity. I also will use my assessments. So maybe there's a group that need to work on their colors. I'll call those certain students over at a time. So the groups are always different. If I'm doing name work, a lot of times I'll do one-on-one working with their name. My groups have between 1 and 4 to sometimes 5 students. Usually 1 to 4 students are in my small group. So what do I do for my small groups? Like I said, I do name work. I pull my assessment data. Each of my students has a few goals. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll go inside and show you my checklist. Each of my students have 2 goals based on my assessment that we're working on. So I'll pull small groups based on those goals. So my standards are broken down month by month. I'll look at the standards for the month and pick out what I think is the most important one. So I definitely don't get to all of them, but I'll pick out the most important ones. This month we're working on numbers. So you've seen a few videos of mine where we have number small group. I'm playing Tenzi. They have the magic paper where they're revealing numbers. So each month, if I'm not doing the assessment data or the names, I'm picking out a standard and I'm making some kind of a game or activity around that. Okay, that was a lot. I've had so many questions lately about small groups. If you have more questions, please drop them below. I'll try to answer them. Here's my assessment checklist. I use the same one all year. This way I can see the updated score right next to the first score. So after doing the first round of assessments, I highlight 2 to 3 goals for each student. And then after we did our winter assessments, I went through and see who did not meet those goals yet. Those are circled in red.